Hey everyone, how y'all doing? And welcome back to another video. So a lot has been going on. Unfortunately, it's my mom's dying. I made a video of it, and it's it's very difficult for me to process and to handle. I stopped streaming for not too long, but close to 2 weeks, about 2 weeks maybe. I just can't handle it. I'm not good at that. Um, and it's just been very difficult to me because my mom is the most important person in the world to me. So it's really tough. She wanted me to let you all know that she appreciates all the things you had to say, the nice things, and yeah, I was just taking it one day at a time right now. But I'm going back to streaming and to making videos for now. It's not going to be as frequent, but we'll see what we can get out. But let's talk about the battles and the games. I had success with Duskmane Necrozma and Kyurem Black as well as Palkia Origin. So the thought process was with this team, well, of course the backline is going to be weak to Fairy in a way. Kyurem Black actually is not terrible against Fairy because for one, if it's Primarina, you're going to get a shield with Fusion Bolt, right? Because then it would KO the Primarina. And two, if it's like Zacian, Zacian and Xerneas, you're taking neutral damage from the fast movement, though Geomancy is super effective. But then, you have powerful charge attacks. You can shield the close combat or the play rough or whatever, Moonblast if you choose to. And then you're still doing a lot of damage, so it really isn't that bad. And of course, Necrozma, Duskmane is going to do well against Fairy types. Palkia, though, is not. But yeah, the team worked out well, and I did actually make mistakes, and I still won some of those games I made mistakes on. I think the first battle I made a mistake, so and still won the battle. But we'll go ahead and dive right into the battles and see what we got going on for us. So I'm starting with Duskmane, and my opponent leads Xerneas. So this is a great matchup. This is the Fairy type. This is where we definitely want to see it. They switch into Landorus, and this is my first mistake. I should have went into Palkia, right? Definitely should have went into Palkia because Palkia can win this matchup. It has super effective Aqua Tails, and Kyurem Black does not win this. I go for the Free Shock. This is another mistake because they're definitely going to shield here. There's no reason for them not to shield, so I definitely should have baited that. If I baited, I wonder if I could have won this matchup. Maybe I could have. I'm not sure. But again, this is the first battle, learning the team. Not really a big deal. I go for the Free Shock again. Yeah, I don't know why I'm not baiting here. They're definitely going to shield. Free Shock obviously KOs. It's double super effective. But wow, look how much those Shadow Claws are doing. I shield here. Yet another mistake because they're at back-to-back moves, and I knew they were at back-to-back. I would win CMP, so I could have went for the Fusion Bolt, but because I was significantly debuffed, I don't think it would have KO'd. So I could have won that matchup, but I did not. But my opponent actually pivots out into Kyurem, and that was a mistake by them. That actually helps us win this game because they will be able to go for Fusion Bolt, and I'm going to be able to get off my Spatial Ren. And Spatial Ren is going to be enough to KO. So now that's good for me. So now I can bring in Necrozma here, and they have this their Xerneas. So now I'm going to be able to win with this Duskmane. I'm going to be able to get off the Sunsteel Strike and win this game. So my opponent does concede there. So yeah, definitely some mistakes on my end, a lot of mistakes. But it's okay. Again, Kyurem Black is a new Pokemon. So take some time to get used to it, right? So the backline is weak to Dragon Breath. So seeing Duskmane and Necrozma right here, it's pretty good for me. I'm going to go ahead and go for Dark Pulse right now. And see if they want to shield. I thought maybe they would want to shield just in case they have Outrage, but they do not want to shield. Usually you get a shield with Palkia. I mean, Outrage would KO if they don't shield. Rough Time, so that's a good shield by me, even though it's resisted. It is a powerful move. So yeah, I'm going to charge up extra energy and throw the Dark Pulse and knock out the Dialga. I do not anticipate a shield, and they do not shield. Okay, so I pivot out into my Kyurem right now, and I'm able to get the Fusion Bolt going. So this Fusion Bolt is going to pick up the shield, yep. So I'm an Ice type as well as a Dragon type, so I do take neutral damage here. That actually didn't KO, that surprised me. But they switch lock themselves into this Enamorous, which is actually good for my Duskmane, right? I know I could take an attack, but it actually does more than I thought it was. I'm going to go ahead and throw the Sunsteel Strike. You could consider Iron Head on this. Most of the Duskmanes I've been running do have Iron Head, and You know, it's hard to say. I don't want to delete the Sunsteel Strike. That's why I'm not running it. But if you don't have Sunsteel on yours, I think Iron Hit is a good way to go. It's a little bit cheaper. It's not as strong, of course, but you're going to get to the move faster. And it's going to be super effective towards the Fairy types, right? Okay, good matchup. We do have the Fairy type where we want it. But, again, even the Kyurem is not bad against this anyway. My opponent is going to go ahead and throw an attack. It's going to be the Wild Charge. That's fine. So I'll be able to throw the Sunsteel Strike. You could argue that I should have baited, but I didn't want to. And they do shield, so a bait would have been nice in that situation. But that's okay. My opponent does get off an attack. I can go ahead and shield this. If it's another Wild Charge or a close combat, now I can throw the Dark Pulse. Dark Pulse will be enough to KO. Probably could have overfarmed some more, but I'm going to go ahead and throw the Dark Pulse right now. And that Dark Pulse will KO thanks to the debuffs. So what is my opponent going to bring in right now? It's going to bring Kyurem. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and pivot out into my own Kyurem Black. And you see Kyurem Black or Kyurem White all over the place in the Master League. It's so good. It's so good. Free Shock, so much damage, but I do get off my Free Shock, which is nice. Now, my opponent's definitely going to shield this. Look how much damage it does. It's neutral. Yeah, my opponent shields that and farms me down. Waiting out the switch timer. I do bring in my Palkia. The Fusion Bolt is neutral. We could definitely live that. But, you know, the Free Shock is going to do a lot. And they do bait, of course, which makes sense there. That's a good play there. I'm going for the farm down. Unfortunately, I'm not able to get it. But if it's only a Fusion Bolt, I am going to be able to survive this one. And it is a Fusion Bolt, so that's good. So out comes Rhyperior. So when I see the Rhyperior, I'm like, okay, double super effective Aqua Tail. So I'm going to go ahead and throw one. And I'm trying so desperately to get to another one. And I do successfully get to another one. So this is going to KO. So I'm going to be able to win this one. And yeah, so we're just going to be able to Dragon Breath down. Good game to my opponent. Well played. Yeah, this team worked out really well for me. Despite like a good amount of mistakes I was making. I might actually try it again. But we do have the Palkia here. Okay, I mean, again, backline is weak to Dragon Breath. I mean, of course, Palkia is doing well against, I mean, neutral to Palkia, but we don't want the Kyurem really on this. At least not when shields are up. So I'm going to go ahead and bait here. I always bait the Outrage. So you definitely want to do that. They usually give up a shield because Outrage would KO. And I feel like I've seen a lot of Duskmane have Outrage. So I feel like it's a safe bet that you'll pick up a shield. But even if you don't, I do go for the Sunsteel Strike. Now, the opponent could shield this, and my opponent actually does. Unfortunately, because of that, I barely don't make it to the Dark Pulse. I am not best buddied. I wonder if I would have made it to the Dark Pulse if I was best buddied. My Palkia is best buddied. So maybe I would have, I'm not sure. But, okay, good chill. They do pivot out into Necrozma, but I have super effective Shadow Claw damage. I go for the Fusion Bolt here. Fusion Bolt is neutral. Free Shock still does more damage just because it's a better move. But they do make it to a move. If it's Outrage, it's Outrage, and it is. Which we're not going to be able to farm down. They do actually get the farm down on us, but I do Dragon Breath them down. Now remember that Palkia through the Spatial End. Let's see. It is going to be... Ooh, okay. So it's good that we double resist the Fire Spin damage, but they're going to be able to debuff us a couple times with Psychic Fangs. So that is not ideal for me. I do go for the Aqua Tail here. I was kind of hoping that, I don't know, we would get to an Aqua Tail and then maybe I could make it to a Spatial Rend, but with Spatial Rend KO, we actually don't make it. They do get to a Psychic Fangs. I do live it, but they're going to be able to bring in, yeah, they're going to be able to bring in that Palkia and win. Alright, good game to my opponent. I think I could have probably maybe won that, but that's okay. Great game, well played. Necrozma into Kyurem Black. Okay, so we are weak to the Shadow Claw damage from the Kyurem. So I bring in my own Kyurem, and they're going to switch into Dialga. So I do go for the Free Shock. I go to for the Free Shock because it is neutral, but it's still gonna KO. So I think it's a safe bet, to be honest, to shield. I think it is worth it to bait that. Did I say shield? To bait it. I think it is a good decision to bait it. But obviously you don't want him to call it. But that Free Shock is no joke. And Ice Burn on Kyurem White is no joke, which I used as well. It's just absolutely insane. So they do go ahead and get off their Thunder. Totally fine. I kind of want to farm this down. And I am going for it. Unfortunately, they make another move, so I will commit a shield. Because this energy is going to be valuable. So, because the Kyurem comes in. So this is going to KO the Kyurem if they don't shield it. I know they're going to shield it. Again, these heavy moves, you could bait them because they're probably going to commit the shield there. But I was not baiting. I was just throwing it. But my opponent gets off the Fusion Bolt. So it's good that they throw Fusion Bolt and they don't throw Freeze Shock. I'm going to go ahead and shield this one up. And it's going to be the Fusion Bolt. Obviously, that's going to KO. And I go for the farm down. And I do actually get the farm down. You love to see it. Love to see it. What is going to come in here? It's going to be a Palkia, so we actually get off the Spatial Rend. So they bring in Palkia. I don't know if they were going to go for like a peekaboo play where they, bring in Palkia and try and switch out, but they was not able to do it, thankfully. So I do farm down and I do take that win. So great game to my opponent, very well played to them, but we're able to win that one. Okay, let's go ahead and jump into the next battle. It's going to be Kyurem Black into Rhyperior. Okay. And again, I'm not familiar with some of these matchups. I know I have to stay in here because Duskbane does not want to see Mudslap damage. But they also have Breaking Swipe, which is not great for me. But I'm going to go ahead and let this go. I know it's going to be a Breaking Swipe. This one I do bait. I decided I know they're going to shield. I mean, Freeze Shock is going to KO. So, of course, they're going to shield. But they do switch out into Dialga. So I'm going to go ahead and go into my Necrozma. And I'm charging up a lot of energy. They're going to throw an attack. I don't want to take a lot of time, so I'm going to go ahead and shield. It's actually an Iron Head, so good bait by my opponent. But I do charge up a lot of energy, and I do go ahead and throw this attack right here. And I would love to get the farm down. Do I go for it? I guess I go for it. Yeah, I guess I'm going for it. I'm going to go ahead and go for this, because even if they bring in the Rhyperior, they actually have Draco Meteor. They don't have the Row of Time. I know this is going to KO the Rhyperior, unless if they shield it. And again, probably would have made sense to bait, right? Unfortunately, I don't get off the Freeze Shock. And I don't get off that, so yeah, I quit that. If I baited, though, I would have actually been able to KO the Rhyperior. So, lesson learned. I think it is a good decision to bait. Ooh, okay. Oh, is this the one where I let the Stone Edge go through? Because I knew they charged up for Stone Edge, but I'm like, they're definitely going to go ahead and throw the Sandseer. Is this the battle? Yeah, I let it go here. Yeah, they Stone Edge. So, if they charge up for Stone Edge, you might want to consider... shielding it, right? And they actually shield. I throw the Freeze Burn again, or the Freeze Shock, excuse me. But again, like a lot of mistakes in these battles, but that's okay. It's not really a big deal. We're just learning the meta and everything like that. But I still win this battle too, which is crazy. But I'm gonna go ahead and shield. It is the Outrage. Most of them have been running Outrage, I feel like, so I think it is worth the shield there. I'm going to go ahead and throw my Aqua Tail right now. This is going to KO the Duskbane. They do shield it. But we actually CMP to the next move. So that's actually really good for me. So this is going to be enough to knock out. So they wasted their shield, which is huge. Dialga Origin comes in. I'm going to switch into Duskbane to bring in Landorus. But I still have a shield, so I'm going to go ahead and commit it right now. And obviously this could be Sandseer, of course. If they do lower my attack, this is not going to be enough to KO, unfortunately. Not because, just because of the debuff, right? But it comes close, so I Shadow Claw it down. I guess it didn't matter that it didn't KO. Now, I don't want to throw an attack into Dialga, but my switch time is not up. I kind of have to. We CMP tie here. I wasn't going for a CMP, but like it just happened. So I'm going to go ahead and throw the attack, and now my opponent is going to throw that attack right now into my Duskbane. Row of Time, going to be enough to knock me out. I do make it. I do make it to the Aqua Tail, yeah. So this is definitely a tough game to win, but we're actually going to be able to win this one. It doesn't KO, but we can Dragon Breath down the Dialga. I saw a lot of Dialga today. Dialga Origin. But yeah, great game to my opponent. Let's go ahead and move into the next battle. So it's going to be my Kyurem Black. Oh, okay, so I remember this. I have the same team, but I switched the lead. I decided to go into Kyurem Black for a little bit. I liked the original way I was doing it, though. I liked Necrozma and Kyurem Black as the safe swap. But I'm going to go ahead and shield for close combat. And because I shielded the close combat, like, you could take a look at this. This is a Dragon type up against a Fairy. But we don't have Dragon attacks. Now, you could run Dragon Tail. I've seen it. actually. I don't know if I don't think it's in this video. But we don't have that. So this is really not a bad match. Right? We're going to go ahead and go for Future Bolt. If they don't shield, it's going to KO because they're like double debuff now, right? They do 2 close combats. So fantastic for me. And we got the free shock. They only have 1 shield left, so I was like, okay, I'm not going to go ahead and bait here, and they don't shield it. And I actually farmed down, which is pretty wild. They were going for the farm down, I guess. And look at that. They bring in their Kyurem, and I still make it to a Fusion Bolt, which is insane. Kyurem Black and Kyurem White are so crazy. So I bring in my Palkia right now. Might as well just go for the damage. I know this is resisted. We're just doing as much damage as possible. They are very low. And they do shield that. Now, Freeze Shock. Will it be enough to KO from this range? Yes, it will. That move is insane. Actually, no. I lived on 1 HP and I switched out. Crazy stuff. That move is insane. But, I mean, I know I live a Fusion Bolt, so I don't have to worry about that. I actually clicked on my move too, so this is going to be enough to KO Kyurem Black. Yeah, that Pokemon is wild. Both Black and White Kyurem are so crazy. And I see him like every battle, you know. I think there was one battle I didn't see. It's absolutely insane. Absolutely fantastic. That was the last battle. Okay, great. So thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. And I'll see you in the next video. Have a good one, everyone. Take care.